Imagine this. In a world obsessed with hacking others' minds, social media algorithms predicting your every move, bosses demanding your peak performance. What if the real game changer is hacking your own inner code? Lao Tzu's profound Chapter 33 in John Mitford's translation flips the script. True wisdom isn't outsmarting the crowd, but mastering your endless cravings. Real riches aren't in your bank account, but knowing enough amid consumer chaos and eternal legacy. It's dying without fading away. For today's seekers battling burnout, FOMO, and self-doubt, this 10-minute dive delivers actionable ancient tools to build unbreakable self-mastery, find contentment in the grind, and create a life that echoes forever. Are you ready to level up your inner world? Let's unlock it now. All right, Chapter 33, Knowing Self. For those seekers out there, one of the Hermetic teachings, or one of the words that they had over the temples was know thyself. So here we go. Chapter 33, Tao Te Ching, John Mitford translation. To understand others is wisdom. To know self is illumination. To vanquish others requires force. To vanquish self requires strength. To know contentment is true wealth. To preserve requires will. Not to lose one's place is to endure. To die, but not to perish, is long life. And as with our usual tradition, I will be also sharing the River Master's commentary on this particular chapter, again from the John Mitford version. Whosoever understands the likes and dislikes of others is wise. Whosoever understands the strengths and weaknesses of self, whosoever hears the silence within, whosoever sees the invisible, is illumined. Whosoever vanquishes the passion of and desire of self prevails in all under heaven. Since that was short, I will also share Magister Liu's commentary as well. One's place is where one should come to rest. It is home, the Tao. This is true knowledge. To pass judgment on others, to make distinctions between high and low may seem like knowledge, but is not. To know self, to wear sackcloth and have jade in one's bosom, is to have true knowledge within. To contend is not true strength. To vanquish self, to be soft and not forward, may seem like weakness, but is strength within self. It is the true judgment that eschews force, that abides in the light, in true illumination. It is an abundance, a wealth that is never full to the brim. This is to return home to the uncarved block, to purity, to non-action. This is to return to the Tao, to knowledge of self, where being and non-being are one, where outer radiance and inner marvel merge. Wow. Feels like there's so much to unpack here. To vanquish self. This feels very reminiscent of the idea of letting go of this idea of self. So in your life, in many of our lives, right, we've created this alter ego, or ego. It's not alter, it's our ego. And really, what is the ego? What is it? It's an idea of or a set of ideas, thoughts, feelings, beliefs, desires, right? Habits, personality. That again is a complete idea, and could be with will could be shifted or dropped, right? There's a book, I don't know if I've read it, but this title comes to my mind: the breaking the habit of being the breaking the habit of self, or something like that. I think it's a Joe Dispenza book, breaking the habit of being yourself, something like that. And it's this sense that, or realization that you are just, again, this series of habits and beliefs and ideas and recurring thoughts and emotions that create this personality, that creates this persona, right? And it's actually, well, so modern day psychologists say your personality is not very malleable, but I think that's because a lot of people believe the story that they tell themselves, and this story of self, right? And so a lot of this book is talking about dropping that story, essentially, right? Is to drop the idea. And part of the reason this YouTube channel exists is Boundless Sovereign. The idea, the symbolism of Boundless Sovereign is that you are a sovereign being with free will, meaning that you actually have complete control over the actions that you take, the beliefs that you choose to believe, the personality that you choose, the story that you choose to tell yourself. You are sovereign in the idea that you have a choice. Some people maybe don't believe that they have a choice. They have tendencies towards one direction or another. But if you come to realize your own sovereignty and your own power, you can shift just about anything to be what you want it to be, right? Your life, you're not a victim of your circumstance. Your circumstance is a creation of the stories that you tell yourself. If you look at whatever your life is, good, bad, or otherwise, and good or bad is a perspective, right? There's one line, I don't remember the chapter it's in, I think we talked about this already, but the idea of accepting your lot, right? That's part of this Wu Wei, go with the flow, is that we accept what we have in front of us. But that doesn't mean that we have to be victims to it. An acceptance is a sense of power over your perception of the reality that you're experiencing today. And we all have that power at our disposal. The problem is that a lot of us choose to be victimized by the circumstance instead of being empowered. And I'm going to tell you firsthand, it's so much better to be empowered than it is to be a victim. Because when you're empowered, and I've talked about this before too, about taking responsibility for your life, and you realize that your life is yours, and it's your one chance to do and be the things you want to be. And you don't have to, you're not beholden to a single other human being because you are sovereign. And the fact that you have control, even if you are a slave, you have control over your perception of the experiences that you have, right? And that's really what I'm talking about, is your perception. You control what story you tell yourself. And if you drop the story, you are truly free. And that, my friends, that is the most powerful piece of information that as a human you could ever have. Because once you realize that you are actually free, the systems of control that are here in the societies that we live in will in your little life break down, right? Because you're no longer a victim of the system. Now, the system wants you to believe you're a victim, but you are not a victim. You are a sovereign being who has a choice over how they will perceive the world around them. And you have a choice of the story that you tell yourself day in and day out. So I'm going to put it to you now. Choose your own life. Whatever you want, it could be yours. Are you willing to take responsibility? And then are you willing to choose? If this episode resonated with you, please like and subscribe to the channel. This information gets out to more people. It helps them integrate and become aligned within themselves. And guess what? They become a bigger, badder, better human being that can influence and impact the rest of the world through their own beingness and their own light. So this is the Boundless Sovereign YouTube channel, and we will see you all in chapter 34.